What chart type are you? This interesting personality guide was devised by the well-known American astrologer Mark Edmund Jones in his book, The Guide to Horoscopes Interpretation. Jones formulated 7 distinct personality types based entirely on the pattern that the planets form in a chart. In this chart analysis, you look only at the picture of the chart. To begin, draw a blank horoscope circle and divide it into 12 sections. Now, referring to your birth chart, place a large dot, one for each planet, in the section of the horoscope in which each planet appears. There should be 10 dots in all. Study your pattern and match it up to one of the following 7 types. The splash. See all the circles? Hopefully you can zoom in if you can see this. In this chart, the planets occupy as many signs as possible, scattered all over the 12 sections. This type of person has a great many interests in life, studies, or reads about a wide variety of topics, and may be proficient in a number of areas. The problem is that sometimes the splash type scatters his or her energies. Then we have display. Okay, see, we got little 4 planets down here, and then the rest is up there. This chart is similar to the splash, but the key difference is that there is at least one stellium in a chart. A stellium is a grouping of 3 or more planets in one sign. A splay person is very individual and refuses to be regimented by other people's rules or conventions. He or she tends to have unusual tastes and interests and will follow those dictates and no one else's. Then we have the bundle, okay? See them all up here, all crowded, touching each other. In this chart, the planets are closely grouped together in very few signs. In addition, the signs must all be consecutive. This is the rarest pattern of all 7 types. Here, the individual is a specialist, someone whose work or interests revolve around one concern or point of view. Bundle types do best applying themselves to one subject and becoming an expert at it. Then we have the locomotive. Okay. Alright. This pattern is easy to spot because it looks something like a train. The planets range over a large number of signs, and all the signs are consecutive. The locomotive, which is the planet that leads the others in a clockwise position, is usually dominant in a chart. And this segment of the chart is one of the strongest houses. Locomotive people attack problems with drive and energy and have great many resources. The dominant planet and house usually gives an indication of what area the person is strong in. Then we have the bowl. Okay? In this chart, all 10 planets fall within 6 consecutive signs, which gives a pattern of a half circle look of a bowl. The bowl type tends to be thoughtful and self-contained. These people learn and profit from their experiences in life. They have particularly forceful personalities if the bowl is entirely in the top half or bottom half of a horoscope circle, or is entirely on the left-hand side as pictured, or the right-hand side of a horoscope circle. Then we have the bucket. There's a one little lonely planet over here, and everything else is over here. Okay. In this chart, 8 or 9 planets fill one half of the horoscope circle, and the remaining planet, or 2 planets together, is in the opposite half of the circle. This 10th planet forms the handle of the bucket and is called the singleton. Bucket people tend to have a single-minded drive toward achieving a goal. They marshal their energies in one direction. Often, the singleton planet indicates the goal or direction that the bucket type pursues. And then we got the best one of all, okay? We got the seesaw. See how we got half over here and the other half over here? I'm a seesaw, okay? Period. This chart has a number of planets on one side of the horoscope circle in consecutive signs, and a number of planets on the opposite side of the circle in consecutive signs. In between the two populated signs of the circle are empty spaces. There must be at least 2 empty signs on either side of the seesaw. Seesaw personalities are always able to see 2 sides to a question. They take into consideration opposing viewpoints and opinions and weigh these when making their decisions. As one astrologer put it, they see life through a contrasting set of windows. In what part of the horoscope are you strong? When looking at the pattern of the planets that the planets form in a birth chart, another thing to consider is where the planets appear in the horoscope circle. The various parts of the horoscope circle all have specific meanings. To make this chart analysis, all you will need is your horoscope circle that has the large dots representing the planets in the chart. Study the layout of the dots in your horoscope and note which parts of the circle contain the most dots. To begin with, the horoscope circle is divided into halves. There are 4 halves in the circle: the left half, the right half, the top half, and the bottom half. The left half of the circle, called the Eastern Hemisphere, represents a person's impact on the world. The key word for people who have many planets on this side of the horoscope is that they mold circumstances. These people are able to stamp their environment with the imprint of their own personalities. The right half of the circle, called the Western Hemisphere, represents the impact of the world on a person. The key word for people who have many planets in this half of the horoscope is that they are molded by circumstances. These people are influenced by their surroundings and by the people in their lives. Each experience becomes a part of their personality. Then we have the top half, okay, period. Look at the top half. Okay. Mine are in the top, if you haven't noticed, okay. The top half of the circle, called the Southern Hemisphere, emphasizes social and public life. People aim with many, the key word for this half of the horoscope is the outer aim. People with many planets in this top half of the horoscope tend to be oriented toward career or professional life. They are usually involved with the community or the world at large. The approval of the public gives them satisfaction. And then we have the bottom half. The bottom half of the circle, called the Northern Hemisphere, emphasizes self and family. The key word for this half of the horoscope is inner aim. People with a majority of planets in this hemisphere are primarily interested in personal pursuits and pleasures, inner goals, and satisfactions. This does not mean that they don't achieve in life. It means their primary motivation for achievement is to satisfy themselves. There is another way in which the horoscope is divided. It is divided into quarters. The first quarter of the horoscope consists of the houses 1, 2, and 3. People having many planets in this quarter are highly individual and have strong personalities. They are primarily self-assertive and self-motivated. In their early lives, they usually develop the character that will make a mark on the world later in their lives. The second quarter of a horoscope consists of houses 4, 5, and 6. Those who have many planets in this quarter are relationship oriented. They need companionship in their lives to feel satisfaction and harmony. In their early lives, they usually develop an instinct for dealing successfully with other people. Their associations are likely to bring them contentment later in their lives. And then we got the third and the fourth quarter. And you guys already know I'm a seesaw, so I'm in both of them, okay? Both of these are the best. But let's start with this one. The third quarter of the horoscope consists of the houses 7, 8, and 9. People who have many planets in this quarter are outer directed and ambitious, but they need cooperation of others to achieve their goals. They are adaptable to a wide variety of situations and people. In their early lives, they usually develop an instinct for cooperation and diplomacy. Their relationships are likely to bring them success in their careers. And the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter of the horoscope consists of houses 10, 11, and 12. People with many planets in this quarter are the most independent and ambitious of all. They make their own way in life and gain through their own efforts rather than those of other people. In early life, they usually learn to depend on themselves. Their self-sufficiency is likely to bring them success later in life.